talking about my kids got Down syndrome.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you talking about my kids?
Nobody. We ain't said nothing about you and yours.
And you can stop
ain't never
saying
said nothing about you and yours.
You can stop saying what's up with Chrissy, because ain't nothing up with Chrissy.
Whatever.
In the early hours of July 23rd, 2024, a 28-year-old mother of 3 and her husband were found dead in their home. At around 5 a.m., police received a frantic 911 call from a woman who said she had been shot. When first responders arrived at the scene, what they didn't expect to find were the lifeless bodies of a couple who had just been involved in a heated Facebook Live argument. Not long after the intense Facebook Live session, those same individuals would be found dead, shot multiple times in their homes. But it wasn't just the murder that stunned investigators. It was what they found next. Something far more shocking than anyone expected. This is the life and death of Christina Jenkins and Christopher Hedgewood. 27-year-old Christina Jenkins, affectionately known as Chrissy by her loved ones, was born on April 8, 1997, in Amite, Louisiana. Chrissy was remembered as a vibrant soul, radiating joy, warmth, and an infectious energy that made every room feel lighter. She had a gift for lifting spirits and bringing people together, often through laughter, music, or simply her loving presence. Her passion for life and her deep loyalty to the people she cared about made her unforgettable. Those closest to her would say Chrissy didn't love halfway. She loved with her whole heart. Whether it was family or friends, she gave her all, and her unwavering support left a lasting mark on everyone fortunate enough to know her. She often went to great lengths to care for the people in her life. Known for her boundless compassion and generosity, Chrissy extended kindness to everyone she encountered. Her love was genuine, given freely without hesitation, which made her a bright light in the lives of many. To those who knew her, Chrissy had a way of bringing energy to every room she entered, able to turn any moment into a celebration. Yet, beneath the fun-loving spirit was a deeply thoughtful and caring woman. Her social media reflected that vibrant energy, filled with logs, smiles, and snapshots of joy. But there was more to Chrissy's world than met the eye. While Chrissy blossomed into an incredible woman, glimpses into her past suggest that her journey wasn't always smooth. In old Facebook posts, she hinted at a childhood marked by challenges, moments that quietly shaped the strong, compassionate person she became. Chrissy was the kind of person who extended kindness to everyone, no matter their background or appearance, so it came as no surprise when she caught the attention of a man who would change her life forever. Chrissy Jenkins met 29-year-old Christopher Hedgewood. The pair met at a time when both their lives were shaped by hardship, resilience, and the pursuit of something real. From the beginning, there was an unspoken understanding between them, an instant connection that ran deeper than surface-level attraction. Their conversations weren't just about likes and interests. They talked about family trauma, survival, loyalty, and the kind of love that refuses to give up. Christopher was sharp, street-smart, and charismatic, the type of man who knew how to navigate tough environments with ease. Like Chrissy, he had grown up without many safety nets. He understood struggle, he understood hustle, and he made Chrissy feel seen in a way few others ever had. To her, it felt like she'd finally found someone who could match her fire, someone who understood the highs and lows of their shared world. It wasn't long before they became official. Chrissy and Christopher were inseparable. Their bond wasn't perfect, but it was passionate, intense, and built on the kind of loyalty that runs deep. Public displays of love, late-night phone calls, showing up for each other when it mattered most. They did it all. Over time, Chrissy became more than just Christopher's girlfriend. She became his anchor. Through court dates, setbacks, and everyday chaos, she stood by him. To Christopher, she wasn't just a partner, she was his ride or die. And to Chrissy, being by his side wasn't just love, it was loyalty, no matter how rocky the road got. And then, their relationship took a significant turn. In 2018, Chrissy found out she was pregnant, and for a moment, everything felt right. The news hit them like a wave of hope. After all the chaos, pain, and uncertainty life had thrown their way, this felt like a fresh start. Christopher was overjoyed. The idea of becoming a father finally gave him something to look forward to, something real to hold on to. Wanting to build a stable life for their growing family, Chrissy and Christopher decided to move in together. It felt like the next natural step, and they began dreaming about what kind of parents they'd be. Despite the rocky foundation of their relationship and the challenges they still faced, the pregnancy brought a sense of unity and purpose. Chrissy, already fiercely protective, was determined to give her child the kind of love and security she didn't always have. And Christopher, who had never known real consistency, was ready to try for something better for all of them. After a few months, Chrissy and Christopher welcomed their baby boy into the world, a moment that changed everything. Almost immediately, Chrissy's social media lit up with joy. Her feed became a collection of sweet moments and heartfelt captions filled with snapshots of their growing family.
Hey, babies. Today I just eating because that's what I want to do. Happy birthday, baby. What's wrong with my baby back there? They're crazy too. It's hot as a motherfucker. Air on and it's still hot.
However, their happiness would be short-lived. In 2019, everything changed. Christopher was arrested, and just like that, the future they had been building together came to a sudden halt. His absence was a heavy blow, not just emotionally, but practically. Chrissy was now left to navigate the challenges of parenthood on her own, raising their young son without the partner she had once leaned on so heavily. Overnight, Chrissy was forced into survival mode. With Christopher behind bars, the weight of the world fell squarely on her shoulders. Still, she showed up every single day for her son, fighting to give him the love, stability, and sense of normalcy he deserved, even when her own world felt like it was collapsing. But just when she thought things couldn't get any worse, the internet turned cruel. Strangers began creating fake social media accounts, impersonating Christopher, using his name and image to beg for money from unsuspecting followers. What they didn't know was that Chrissy and Christopher had always shared the same social media handle. She knew instantly it was fake and didn't hesitate to speak out. However, things suddenly took an unexpected turn. While Christopher was in jail, Chrissy found out she was pregnant with their second child. Chrissy was now facing an uncertain future, balancing life as a single mother to one child while preparing for the arrival of another. The weight of the situation was overwhelming. She leaned on family and friends, trying to stay positive for her son and the baby on the way. Though the challenges felt overwhelming at times, Chrissy remained determined to push through. In 2020, Chrissy gave birth to their second child, a moment of joy that was tinged with bitterness. Christopher, still incarcerated, was unable to share in those early, precious moments of their newborn's life, creating a bittersweet reality for the growing family. Right at that moment, things began to shift. Christopher was later released from jail, and soon after, they welcomed their third child, marking the first time they could truly experience life as a complete family. The birth of their child was a moment of immense joy, symbolizing a fresh start for the couple. For Chrissy, it was a chance to create the peaceful, loving home she had always hoped for. And for Christopher, it was an opportunity to embrace his role as a father in a way he hadn't been able to before. However, despite the joy, they found themselves facing external challenges. On social media, Chrissy and Christopher's posts often hinted at disagreements and tension with others. They didn't shy away from airing their frustrations, using platforms like Facebook to speak openly about the struggles they were facing. In fact, one of the most unsettling displays of their turmoil came during a particularly lengthy Facebook Live session, where they laid their issues bare for all to see.
Now everybody know nigga be minding their motherfucking business. But I just gotta say something. And I ain't even finna say it to, you know what I'm saying, really be dropping names. I ain't doing that at all, you feel me? I ain't doing no name dropping.
You talking about my kids got Down syndrome
That's
and
what I'm
shit.
saying
With
about
nobody.
my
We
kids.
with nobody. We ain't said nothing about you and yours.
And you can
I
stop
ain't never
saying
said nothing about you and yours.
you can stop saying what's up with Chrissy, cause ain't nothing up with Chrissy.
Whatever.
In this video, he spoke about people talking too much about his kids.
Okay, cool. I don't give a fuck about you saying my kids, cause you saying that on social media.
You saying that on social media.
You know for a fact, in person, you can't get nobody to none of it. Ain't nobody in A-Mint gonna with nothing. I can say this on this live. Nobody in A-Mint with nothing, blood.
And though it seemed like just another angry rant, there was an undercurrent of real fear beneath his words. In the live, Chrissy was visibly frustrated.
Ain't no bitch fight. Chris ain't fighting no bitch. I don't play like that. I don't rock like that.
I ain't backing down from there.
Yeah, ain't nobody saying you backing down around, but I'm saying nobody's doing all that. This ain't
even got nothing to do with us.
Can I fucking talk, bro? This don't got nothing to do with us, bro.
She shares that although Christopher and her do not go outright to look for trouble, she doesn't back away from it when it rears its head. It was clear that Chrissy and Christopher had enemies. Despite these challenges, they remained determined to protect their family and rise above the drama, leaning on each other and their growing bond to navigate the difficult times. Chrissy began posting vague warnings on social media, urging people to stay away and leave her and her family alone. There was an undeniable sense that something dangerous was brewing, though no one could tell just how close the threat truly was. No one could have predicted the tragedy that was about to unfold. In the early morning hours of July 23, 2024, a chilling 911 call came in around 5 a.m. A woman on the other end of the line reported that she had been shot.
Yeah, well, so far we're told around 5 this morning, a woman called police saying that she had been shot, and when they got here, they found her and a gentleman who had been killed. Now, this all happened again around 5 this morning in the 600 block of West Martin Luther King Boulevard.
The urgency in her voice triggered an immediate response. The first responders were dispatched to the 600 block of West Martin Luther King Street without hesitation. What they found upon arrival was a nightmare. Inside the home, officers discovered the lifeless bodies of a woman and a man, both victims of apparent gunshot wounds.
When officers got there, they found who they believed to be that woman and a man, both dead inside the home.
They were soon identified as 28-year-old Chrissy Jenkins and her boyfriend, and the father of her 3 children, Christopher Hedgewood. But what investigators discovered next would change everything. As investigators began trying to piece together, one detail stood out immediately. There were no signs of forced entry. The doors were intact. Nothing appeared to be broken or tampered with. This crucial detail shifted the direction of the case. This wasn't a break-in gone wrong. Police quickly began to suspect that the killer was someone Chrissy and Christopher knew, someone they may have let in willingly. The home was quickly secured and transformed into an active crime scene, launching a joint investigation between the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office and the state police.
Our detectives are canvassing the area for witnesses, for surveillance footage on any of the residents that may be in the area. And we are working very hard right now to determine motive and suspects.
Among the first family members to arrive was Christopher's sister, Chelsea Hedgewood. Her grief was immediate and raw. Her heartbreak reflected the shock rippling through the community.
And when I pick up the phone, it's just the worst news day. And it's little sister would want to hear about their big brother.
Sheriff Sticker, who led the investigation, publicly ruled out the possibility of a domestic dispute turned deadly. He stated with certainty that this was not a murder-suicide. Instead, he expressed confidence that detectives would identify a suspect and uncover a motive, one that likely stemmed from something deeper, more personal.
It's disheartening, it's saddening, and it angers me. This is 2 young lives that were snuffed out, and I have a feeling when we get to the bottom of it, the ends won't justify the means here.
But then rumors began to go round. There were whispers of the couple's past enemies resurfacing. Some believed the couple's public social media feuds had finally escalated beyond the screen, while others speculated about long-standing grudges and unfinished business. The silence surrounding the crime was haunting. No witnesses, no calls about gunshots, no signs of a struggle. Despite a coordinated effort by local and state law enforcement, progress was slow. To assist with the investigation into the deaths of Chrissy Jenkins and Christopher Hedgewood, Authorities initially offered a $5,000 reward for information.
Investigators are offering a $5,000 reward for information on a double homicide in late July. Deputies say Chrissy Jenkins and Christopher Hegwood were found shot to death on July 23rd. Family members say that Hegwood leaves behind 3 sons. Anyone with information, you are urged to call the Tangipahoa Sheriff's Office.
That amount was later increased to $10,000 through a joint effort by Crime Stoppers of Tangipahoa Parish and the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office in hopes of generating new leads. A new breakthrough would emerge. On October 18, 2024, the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office announced the arrest of 21-year-old Ryan Snow in connection with the double homicide.
A man accused of shooting a couple to death in a meet 3 months ago is under arrest, according to the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office. 21-year-old Ryan Snow is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of obstruction of justice, according to TPSO officials. Snow is accused in the deaths of Chrissy Jenkins and her boyfriend Christopher Hedgewood, who were both found shot to death in a mobile home back in July.
Investigators said forensic evidence had linked Snow to the crime, and he was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of obstruction of justice. However, the case soon took a surprising turn. On April 18, 2025, just 3 months after his arrest, Ryan Snow was released from the Tangipahoa Parish Jail.
Deputies arrested for a double murder in a meet this summer is out of jail. Chris Joseph reports a delay in prosecution played a role in his release.
Earlier this month, Snow's attorney asked the judge to remove Snow's bond obligation because a grand jury had not indicted him on any of the charges. The grand jury pre-terminated the case on Friday. Now, important to note, that's neither an indictment nor a dropping of the case. That decision leaves the case in limbo until the district attorney's office decides what's next. On Tuesday, a judge granted Snow's ask to remove the bond, paving the way for his release. Jenkins' sister says parish leaders haven't communicated to the family about what happened.
According to the sheriff's office, the release followed a motion filed by Snow's attorney, Vanessa Williams, who had argued that he had not been formally indicted within the legal time frame. Louisiana law requires that prosecutors indict a suspect within 100 days of arrest if the suspect is being held in custody. On February 14th, a grand jury granted the charges, meaning they chose not to move forward with an indictment, but did not formally dismiss them either. Without an indictment in place, a judge granted Snow's release and removed his bond. Prosecutors may still present the case to another grand jury in the future, especially since there is no statute of limitations for murder in Louisiana.
Theoretically, they could come back with another grand jury with more new evidence or not and attempt to take another bite at the apple, because there is no statute of limitations for murder in this state. But they'll have to make that decision going forward.
District Attorney Scott Perilou later issued a statement confirming that his office remains committed to working alongside the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office to continue the investigation.
Again, the suspect's future, Ryan Snow, his future is unclear in this case. District Attorney Scott Perilou says his office is working with the Sheriff's Office to continue the investigation into Ryan Snow. The Sheriff's Office says it's committed to the victim seeing justice and is in talks with Perilou's team about how to move forward.
The heartbreaking news of Chrissy and Christopher's deaths sent a wave of sorrow through their community, leaving loved ones in disbelief. Those who knew them were left grappling with a harsh reality, asking how things could have gone so tragically wrong. Their deaths left behind a trail of unanswered questions and a deep yearning for justice. As the investigation unfolded, friends and family clung to hope that the truth would emerge and that whoever was responsible for this unthinkable crime would be held accountable. All anyone could do now was wait, mourn, and pray for justice to prevail.
Right now, nothing is happening. We're still stuck in the same situation, no hope, no justice, when we was promised that they was going to do the best that they can do.
The heartbreaking story of 28-year-old Chrissy Jenkins and Christopher Hedgewood is a painful reminder of how love, when entangled with chaos and control, can turn deadly. Let me know what you think in the comments section below.